Hey, welcome to another episode of Working Class Rich. Today, I got a bone to pick, a itch to scratch, man. I am so sick and tired of middle class people pretending, man, faking. Faking what? Faking being rich, man. It is so hard as a content creator, man, a person that's legit, that I'm actually living a real life, to try to inspire people who are just pretending, man. It's like, how can you give somebody wisdom that's just pretending that, that they're in a fairy tale, a delusional fairy tale somewhere, man, but middle class people have become something unrecognizable, man. It is ridiculous. And social media made it worse, man. I mean, social media has given people a platform to fake it till they make it, man, to do all these things that make you believe one thing when the reality is another, man. And when I'm teaching here on Working Class Rich, thinking better than the rest, man, I'm trying to teach you how to be a real person living a real life. uh it don't always get the reception that I want. And I found out why. Why? Because people are faking rich. Hey, let me give you an example, man. This right here is what I'm talking
I think
about.
all these influencers are lying about being rich. I'm almost at 1 million followers. Broke. Broke as fuck. Well, not broke, but like I go to my regular minimum wage job every single day, 5 days a week. Clock in. That's how I pay all of my bills. Is that my thing? I did my taxes and I only got 3 brand deals this year, each for $2,000, which works out to like 500 extra dollars a month. Amazing, gorgeous. I can never be happier. But I'm just saying $500 a month is not livable. But I am super grateful for it. But I'm saying that's all that I got. Like, if like you could see, you know. And I think just these influencers are lying to you. I think because they're either trying to sell you a course or tell you how great their life is after you've insulted them. But there's nothing up here. I'm up here now with everybody else, and I'm telling you that there is nothing up here.
Somebody better listen to you need to put that on the radio. Middle class people, no matter if you build a good platform, man, millions of people, you still gonna have to learn the basics, man. You still gonna have to learn how to actually be a person, man, actually be a brand, man, that people can rely on, man. You actually gonna have to learn tools and skills, man, that's real people tools. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you go to a real job and you turn in a resume, I mean, and you get that job and you working there for years, that's a real thing, So most influencers don't realize, listen, you're talking to real people out here pretending to be better than they are when the fact of the matter is the grass is not all that green on the other side. But listen, that's what we're going to talk about and discuss in this episode of Fake Rich, man, because we got to deal with this, man, because if my channel, man, that I'm doing is going to help try to inspire middle class, because the fact of the matter is middle class needs to survive, man. It's important that we survive, but we can't survive, man, if we're faking and pretending, man. But listen, I want to give you examples, man, of what I'm talking about, of people who can say it better than I do. So hey, let's get into the reaction.
I'm not naming no names, but I wish you guys knew how easy it is to fake being wealthy for the internet here in LA. A lot of those big money guys and your favorite creators don't live where you think they live. So up the street from here, we have this $100 million mansion that costs $90 an hour to rent out. A lot of creators rent that space once a week, film their content, and make it look like they live there. Rent a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, $99 an hour. It gets crazier because most people in LA have a following. Because to be a model or an actor, there's a lot of casting calls you can't go to unless you have a following. What used to happen is when you got with an agency, they would dump you a bunch of bots. Now most people realize how that damages an account, but the metrics are still there. And since most people don't know how to do that, they end up buying followers, likes, comments, shares, everything. So they can go to casting calls and keep their agency. There's even more because there's agency funded houses out here. Anyone who's part of that agency can go film there and make it look like they live there. And they encourage you to do this because it looks better for the internet. But there's even more because we also have designer rental services. It's between $300 and $800 a month, and you get bags, shoes, sunglasses, clothing, anything you need, all designer. You just wear it, get your pictures, and then send it back. As long as you don't ruin it, you don't have to pay for it. You can fully construct a lifestyle out here of wealth. And that's part of the reason we're starting to get a bunch of influencer debt resolution companies now.
I know they say fake it till you make it, but I'm so tired of seeing people that I know in real life, like, really try to fake their lifestyle on Instagram. Like, especially men, like they be all on Instagram talking about, oh, I'll trick on a girl, I'll buy her this and that, or I got all this money, da da da, and whole time, like I'm a men hairstylist, so and then it's like whole time they can barely afford to get a little $125 retwist, like bro, please, or they be complaining about how they don't have any money to pay their bills and this and that, but they always on Instagram popping bottles like in other niggas sections, like just doing the most, like it's so annoying. Like I just be want to slide up and be like, bro, you're not living that lifestyle. Like I'm not a hater, like I know fake it till you make it, but it's like men always try and cosplay as a rich man and then be mad when girls actually try and treat them like a rich man. Now they like, oh, girls are this, are that. Like bro, you're literally attracting that. Like what?
We are the only culture that's obsessed with looking like a boss while working for one. You got an $800 car note, designer on your back, VIP sections every weekend. You don't own the roof over your head. You are funding everyone else's legacy except your own. If you want to win in 2026, you got to flip the script. Look broke, stay home, stack your cash, buy the land, buy your trademark, buy the stock. I'd rather pull up in a Honda to a building I own than pull up in a Benz to an apartment I rent. Stop acting rich. Get wealthy.
Now, here's the question. Is most of y'all going to listen to him? Because the fact of the matter is, statistically speaking, middle class, funded. I mean, they made Nike big, they made Apple big. They made a lot of things before all the purchases that we buy. We got to get this new thing. We got, even, you can look at nowadays, Hermes bags, Hermes finally said, we're going to check your background before we even sell you a bag. You see what I'm saying? It's like, everybody is asking for authenticity, man. Everybody is saying we want to make sure that you are actually who you say you are, man. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure, man, if middle class ever gonna get it. Now, there's a strong sector of us that's already got it, and we getting it, man. But see, it's not about just the few, man. We got to get the majority of us thinking in a certain way if middle class is really gonna survive this next wave of happenings.
Wealthy is freedom of time.
Can I just tell y'all something that they only do in the hood? Like I grew up around rich YT people, okay? They only do this ignorant ghetto shit in the hood. That whole prom, let me decorate the front of the house and put balloons out there with a long ass banner. Nobody does that. This is the shit that BLK people do to try, that the poor BLK people do to try to look like rich YT people. And I'm telling you, as someone who grew up with rich YT people around them and with them and friends who are rich YT people, they don't do that. That's how they know you don't. Immediately, I know you don't have money. When your mother goes all out on prom for you, and you got a band outside, and she rents a fucking Rolls Royce more than her Section 8 payment, I already know you don't have money. We all know.
I'm tired of all these so-called fake influencers talking about money like it ain't nothing when they don't have any money themselves. I mean, somebody selling you books and tapes to tell you how to get rich. I mean, just knock it off. Like this one brother, my brother Roland Martin and I were talking about this one brother. I don't want to blow him up because I think he means well, but he was saying, $100,000 is not nothing. What are you talking about? What world do you live in? I'm rich, and I'm telling you $100,000. I'm actually wealthy, and I don't throw around $100,000. I mean, I pay very few of my employees $100,000. It requires a significant achievement. So to say that $100,000 is not nothing, what are you smoking? The wealthiest country in the world, the sole superpower in the world, right, is $45,000. Hello? If you're African American, there are only 6% of African Americans, 4% below 10%, who make $100,000 a year. And now if you have a bachelor's degree, an advanced degree, then that increases to 16%. But if you have less than a bachelor's degree, like some education above high school, that degree decreases to 2%. So who are you out here saying that, $100,000 is not a lot? Or ladies, you're saying you won't marry a dude unless he makes six figures. You may be alone for your whole life. And you may walk right past the dude who eats this for dinner. Now, I'm sitting in a multi-million-dollar house, right, on acres. And I'm whoever I am, right? It's easy to change.
Can you smell the
100%.
rich and the fake rich?
Yes.
What's the difference between people who are actually rich and those who are acting like they're rich?
People who are actually rich, like you rich, they're not concerned about impressing you.
Interesting.
They are apex predators. They do not worry about what you think about them.
Wow.
It is the guy that you see walking into a 3 Michelin star restaurant in a quiet, normal looking outfit, sweater vest situation, eats his meal, leaves a 50% tip because they can. That's true wealth. Then you've got the wannabe wealth that goes to that same restaurant, dripped out in a designer label, making a scene. Why isn't this water sparkling? This is still, I don't like that. No. Like, just, you know, really, really new to the experience.
Miami is full of a bunch of fake ass rich people. It's actually a
Hold on, man. We gotta pause it right here, man. She was making so many big points. We going into it. You know, it's like you could tell the behaviors of somebody that's pretending, man. You could tell literally the behavior and the vocabulary of somebody who's trying to put on the Ritz, man. You know, I mean, there's one influencer, you know what I'm saying? I wish I had a clip of it, but he would go around in bathrobes, man, faking like he's getting off a helicopter, man, and talk about, you know, this just a Tuesday, this is every day. It's like, even if this was your lifestyle, what does it matter? You know, I mean, if you're treating the people right in your space, you know, if they get a chance to experience that, what does it matter if the whole world know that you move in that kind of way? But whenever you see how people behave, you always know that rich move in silence, but poverty, oh man, it's a loud tingling brass cymbal, man. Hey,
I like that. No. Like, just, you know, really, really new to the experience.
Miami is full of a bunch of fake ass rich people. It's actually hilarious coming from Puerto Rico to here and seeing the absurd differences in wealth and money and how people act. Damn near everybody out here is trying to act like they have way more money than they actually do. And you can tell that they don't have money because of the way that they act. Everyone out here is cutthroat, bro. They're always trying to get something out of you, or they're always trying to benefit themselves, bro. They're selfish as fuck. Versus actual rich people, actual wealthy people, it's not how they act. They don't try and backstab you. They don't try and, you know, get something out of you every time you see each other. Because rich people are actually making money, so they don't need anything out of you. The people in Puerto Rico are always just super nice, like, hey, I know a guy for this, I know a guy for that. No charge, nothing. Just trying to help everybody out, and that's how all rich people operate. They already have shit going on for themselves. They don't need you. Versus out here, I swear to God, every single person that tries to be my friend is trying to get something out of me, trying to do a collab, trying to start a business.
Yo, what?
See, what he's talking about in terms of being rich, man, is the correlation between a person who has given up their character, integrity, and morals, man, for business pursuits, man. This is what he's talking about, and it's amazing that he bring this point up, man, because I teach this a lot, man, on this channel, man. Listen, at this point, if you're watching it this far, hey, like and subscribe, man. You know, it's more content like this, and I'm getting better at doing these reactions, you know, because middle class people need to be talked to, man. We give up our character, man, those jewels, those treasures, man, that you're supposed to keep close to the chest. You're supposed to keep them in your heart, keep them in your mind. We give that up for business pursuits, man, and that's all you're out there doing. You're an opportunist looking for the next person to swindle, the next person to piddle off your thing because you got this new big bright idea. You got this hack to make them just as rich as you. It's like, wait a minute, if you already faking, what is your definition of rich, man? Because this guy here in the last scene automatically knew, man. Let me just put his face up, dude. See, he already come from an environment where even though people can have much, they're still nice. They're still kind. They're still considerate, man. They're still, you know, solid people, man. Their heart is still tender. See, this is what he's defining as rich. So if you mistaken trying to talk about, you know, I'm saying, you know, all of this opulence kind of thing. No, I'm covering both bases, man. Yes, it's about the money, but it's about the character too, man. Let's go.
Is trying to get something out of me, trying to do a collab, trying to start a business.
Yo, why everybody's so rich on social media till you hang out with them in real life? Like, now you really see what's going on. Like,
I'm a 19-year-old millionaire. Of course my mama wants her breast done. We gonna fly to Miami and get it done for her. I'm a 19-year-old millionaire. Of course, my siblings ask me for money every day, and I say no, but still end up giving it to them. I'm a 19-year-old millionaire. Of course, $20,000 in one day is possible. I'm a 19-year-old millionaire. Of course, I lost my first 6 figures in only 2 months.
My question is, why would you talk about all the stuff you have on social media where everybody can see it, even though this is a skit, and it's another young lady that has done that. I don't know if this is real, but this feels like a skit. But it's like, why would you get on social media with all the thieves and con artists out there looking for prey, to go after, man, looking for hooks, somebody to grab some from, especially these scammers from India and Nigeria and different. It's like, why would you put this on social media talking about all the stuff you have just to impress people who really don't care?
I'm a 19-year-old millionaire. Of course, I kept working my 9 to 5, even though I was making my yearly salary in 2 weeks. I'm a 19-year-old millionaire. Of course, every time I stay in Miami, I will be at the bottom.
It's very easy to look fake rich.
Yeah.
Because everybody will give you a line of credit. If I want a Gucci purse and I can't afford the Gucci, guess what? I can buy now, pay later. I can open up a credit card and buy the Gucci and look like I'm rich, when in reality, I'm just making Gucci rich. In fact, one of the richest people in the world, in 2023, he was the richest person in the world, is Bernard Arnault. He's the founder and CEO of the company that owns Louis Vuitton. And why? Because millions of people pay him to look rich, when in reality, he's the one that's getting rich. And we assume that when you make some more money, you gotta start looking the part. And this is that mindset shift that we have to make. And a lot of people resonate who come from the Indian traditional families. They message me saying, Jasprit, I became a doctor, or my wife and I are doctors. We make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. We make a great income, but we have no savings and no investments, and I don't know what to do. And the reason why is we have a Range Rover and a Benz. We have a nice house. We go on the doctor vacations. We have to look the part, but we don't have any money left over at the end of our paychecks. And it's a very easy thing to get caught up in, because when you make more money, you become more creditworthy. Banks.
All right, guys, this is $1 million, okay? $1 million in cash. It would have taken me exactly 30 freaking years to make this amount of money while I was working here. Now, instead, I make this in a single month, and I get to eat Taco Bell on the back of the GT3 RS. Life has changed, and I have come a very long way. Very blessed.
So this right here is the image that is programmed in many of our minds in middle class, man, because we have come up through hard spots, man, no matter what your race is, man. There's no telling what environment that you come from, man, and your heart longs for greener pastures, man. You want to be able to take care of the people that you love and do different things and move in a certain way, but one thing you need to understand, man, being middle class is not as low as you think. Middle class, we get to experience the rough edges of the country that you're living in. We get to experience the rough edges. The poor is oblivious of what's really going on, and many people in the rich, man, or fame especially, they are delusional as what the real world really is. They think the rules do not apply to them, that they somehow get to skirt the law. You listening to, like I said, I like Andrew Tate, but some things I push back when he say, because it's like, Andrew, everybody don't want your life, dude. And the fact of the matter is, at one point in time, you was talking about how untouchable you are, but they came right over there to Romania and touched your ass. But anyway, so that's not the point. But you look at this guy here, he's sitting on a Ferrari, he's got this machismo kind of feel, Let me ask, is this what the image of rich is for you? If this is it, because this guy right here with all of this bling on, tell me, where can he go in the world and be safe? Tell me, where can he go where there's not some suspecting eye looking to see, how to either get with him to extort money out of him? I mean, where can he is so noisy, so flashy. Come on, man. If this is the image that you're going with, dude, you about to get the worst experiences of America.
This is instantly how you can tell if someone is actually wealthy or not based off their car or watches or any of that superficial stuff. If you go in their bio and it says, message me blank, or DM me this or comment this, that means that they are truly wealthy.
So in the past few days, I've made a ton of money.
Oh,
made
that
so
makes
much
sense.
money that
Look at this.
I can actually just take a few and just throw
I
them in
hope
there.
that's fake money.
Money does not mean as much as we actually think it means. Money is just paper, and if you guys really want to get yourself a ton of money,
That's disrespect to everybody that's working
it's actually
hard for
pop money.
every penny.
You
That's
can go on the TikTok
disrespect.
shop and grab yourself some money. I got a whole stack.
Oh, okay.
And now I
Okay.
am actually
That's fake money,
$10,000
y'all.
more
That's
poor.
fake. That's fake.
Wait, was that the prop money? Anyways, this is the prop money. If you guys want to make some cool videos, content creators, get yourself some prop money. I'm now $10,000 more poor. And there we go. Real money does not burn like that. Real money actually does not burn. Go and get you some.
I have a client who's worth $8 billion. You would walk past him on the street, you would never know he has very much money at all. He drives a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is like a very mid-range car. He wears like, you know, totally nondescript clothing. Like he just looks like a typical middle-aged dude. And you would not look at him and go, like, he gets his hair cut at like Supercuts for 25 bucks. Like he's not posh in the things that he owns and does. And he could buy, you know, his income annually is like the gross domestic product of a few countries. And, you know, he's not, but then yet I have clients who appear to be incredibly wealthy. And as a divorce lawyer, I get to see the absolutely unfiltered version of people's finances. And I can tell you, they are deeply in debt, many of them.
Luxury brands will never admit this, but they need poor people. And not actually poor, I'm being provocative. But what I mean is aspirational customers who can barely afford the entry products. The receptionist who has to save 6 months for a Gucci belt. The college graduate who's buying their first Tiffany bracelet. This is why they're essential to the entire luxury ecosystem. Entry products operate at extraordinary margins. The creams that you buy for $200 actually cost less than $5 to produce. And the volume from the aspirational buyers finances things like runway shows, the flagship stores, the celebrity endorsements. There are only about 4,000 people out of 8 billion who regularly buy couture. In comparison, almost everyone buys perfumes. The art is maintaining the tension between desire and attainment. And that's why luxury needs both the billionaire and the receptionist who treats them.
I don't want you to look ugly. I don't want you to look poor. I don't want you to look the way you should be looking. That's it. I'm not saying owning a nice pair of jeans or owning a nice pair of sweaters are bad. No. Here's what I'm saying. Make sure if you own it, you can afford it. Make sure whatever you purchase when it comes to clothes, you can buy that at least 3 times. 3 times. 2 minimum, 3 times, especially when it comes to clothes. Do not buy clothes. If you're spending $1,000 on the bag and you don't have $1,000 or $3,000 in your bank account, you can't afford it. Bottom line.
This is the rich versus fake rich tier list for
Good
cars.
advice.
Lambo.
Fake rich.
Audi.
Fake rich.
BMW.
Fake rich.
Mercedes.
Fake rich. Am I bugging on that one? Let me know in the comments.
McLaren.
Rich.
Ferrari.
Rich.
Land Rover.
Rich. Old money.
Hi, you guys called me?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me chime in right quick. Listen, when he was saying, let's go back on him, you know. He was saying the Land Rover and he was saying the Ferrari, you know, signifies rich. But I've seen many people, you know, who rent Ferraris for, I think, $2,000 or something like that, you know, up in that range. You can actually rent those, you know, exotic cars, man, and drive around with them, you know, and stuff like that. So in that regard, you know, he's thinking probably ownership or something like that. But no, I've seen people who fake it all day long.
Rich. Old money.
Hi, you guys called me?
Yeah, your daughter is in here and she kind of racked up a $5,000 tab and she's just said that you'd come in and pay.
Of course she did. Sounds like my daughter, honestly. Let me get out my Amex, I'll
So
pay
what do
it.
y'all think? Is this rich or
Yeah,
fake?
your daughter actually racked up like a $5,000 tab with us and she said that you would pay
$5,000.
it.
No, no. I'm gonna have her
Which
come in
one?
and return everything. I told her if she wants to shop here, she has to work here.
I don't have my card on me. Let me call my husband. He'll send over the money. Let me tell you, she's her mother's daughter, okay? We are like one and the same. That's my girl.
So Jessica, I heard you racked up quite the bill here. Yep, you know what I told you. Nope, you have to work here, and guess what? They're hiring for a sales associate. So I'm gonna get you an interview.
I know, sweetie. She did it again. I know. I mean, it's ridiculous, but she's just like me.
Okay, so she'll be here at noon tomorrow for the interview, but if you don't
Which
think
one's
she's
fake?
qualified, don't hire her. I'm gonna have her return all the clothes anyway.
Rolex,
Look rich.
Apple Watch,
Real rich.
Cartier,
Look rich.
Hermes,
Real rich.
Chanel,
Real rich.
Prada,
Real rich.
Louis Vuitton,
Look rich.
Balenciaga,
Look very rich.
Zara,
Real rich.
Dior,
Real rich.
Tom Ford,
Real rich.
Richard Mille,
Real rich.
Jacob & Co.
Real rich.
Oh man, hey, listen, thank you for joining me with this episode. Listen, the whole point of this episode, if you're still with me, hey, remember to like and subscribe, comment, man, if you like this channel and what I offer or whatever. I'm not for everybody, but I'm for somebody. The fact of the matter is, middle class need to get back to being real people, man, because we got so many real problems coming at us every single day. We ain't got no time for this daydreaming, pretending kind of thing that middle class have lured themselves to. Not the old class now. I'm talking about the new class. So if those of you out there, those Gen whatever, X, Y, Z, I don't know, you know what your generation, but anyway, the new generation, listen, I ain't trying to hurt your feelings, but what I'm saying is they selling y'all a bill of goods, man, that they didn't sell to me when it was my age, because I knew that that wasn't really the path, man, to actually get rich, because I was around people who knew how to make money, and I understood, man, that how to put the puzzle pieces together, and it always included somebody doing the hard work, man, so don't sleep on doing the hard work, man. Don't sleep on the education. Don't sleep on none of that. Just because something is moving slow doesn't mean that it's not the right direction, man. I know you want to have the most in life. I know you want to have the life that's in your head, but don't lose who you are as a real person trying to get there. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, my name is Starsky Inspires, man. This is Working Class Rich, man. As always, continue to think better than the rest, and I'll see you on the next episode.